and so we're here to talk about Glass. Um, this is my wife, Vivian. Say hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm just trying to get this link.
And I'm Roger. So we just saw the movie Glass last night, and I thought it was good.
I did too.
So what'd you like about it?
Well, first thing was I really enjoyed Split and Unbroken. So, of course, the same actors, they did a really amazing job. Bruce Willis and
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy, yeah. And of course, Samuel Jackson was amazing too. I
Yeah.
just liked how the story kind of flowed. Like they, in my mind, when I saw the trailer, I thought we would begin with them being in jail. But in fact, they showed us the process of how they got there, which was really good. Also, I feel like McAvoy really enjoys playing those characters, which makes it really interesting when they come through. So that was really enjoyable too. And also, I really like the girl. I can't remember. I'm trying to find the cast on here so I
I've
can
got it.
get
Uh,
Anya.
Anya Taylor-Joy played Cat.
Yeah, she's um she's a very interesting character in the film too because of the way I keep feeling I'm waiting for her powers to come through, or I mean, whatever her specialty is.
I think we got a glimpse of what her powers were,
Yeah,
with her ability to calm the
right.
horde.
Yeah, you said that. And also the son Joseph, I was waiting for him to kind of show his powers. But you were saying last night too, you feel like his powers is to be able to spot people who are superheroes
I
or
think it's
who.
got something to do with that. I don't know if that's his full power or his full capability, but it's like he just knows he just knew that his dad was a superhero. He knew his dad was special.
Right.
So there's something about him. I don't know, he's got some sort of extrasensory
Hmm.
perception.
Right. Um, I know we only watched it last night. I'm trying to like think of the things that really stood out to me
Right.
in the film. I love David and Joseph's relationship in the film, how
Yeah.
they've teamed up and he's helping his dad to, you know, that I'm trying to remember, was their mission to find Split, right? That was their mission.
Yeah, that was their primary mission.
Right. So,
They well, it wasn't well. I don't know if they knew it was Split,
right,
but or the Horde. Actually, Split was just the name of the movie.
right,
Um,
yeah,
but I don't know if they knew it was the Horde or not. But they were looking for the five missing cheerleaders.
right. That's it. But even though, they've been trying to track him anyway, from what I could tell in the
Yeah, they
film
had that
was,
triangle, and well, maybe they did have an idea that it might have been the Horde,
hmm,
um, because it seemed to match the same kind of MO or modus operandi.
right. What did you feel? How did you feel about the film?
I liked it overall. Uh, like I was telling you, I wish that they had. I wish the Beast had gotten away, and see that would leave it open for Bruce Willis's character to come back
Right, yes.
and to kind of somehow overcome what what he went through. So because they mentioned in the movie where Superman his first his ability to fly wasn't in the first issue of Superman, like he couldn't fly,
Right.
and that developed over time.
Yeah.
And I can see David somehow developing other abilities like Superman.
Mm, right.
So But then again, Glass says that, this isn't the comic books, this is real life, and there are limitations, as he was explaining to, I think, the Beast.
Right.
Or actually, no, he was talking to Patricia at the time,
Yeah.
who was worried that um, that the Beast wasn't able to do everything that the Horde originally thought.
Right. Well, I thought it was interesting how Glass actually said in the end that, there's this balance. So where there was him, who's, fragile, there would be someone like Bruce Willis' character who was strong.
Well,
And
that was an assumption that Glass made. That
right,
was reasoning that he had,
right.
because he existed. There had to be an opposite, but there's no guarantee that that's really how it works.
True, but I feel like that's how they wanted to take the story, because when he died, it's kind of like they forced the ending for Bruce Willis's character. So
Well, that it doesn't really make sense because there was no real opposite for the Beast. I mean, there was in the sense for the character Cassie or Casey,
Casey, yeah.
but there was no direct link. The way you had Glass and you had David, or
Right.
um, shoot, what was his real name? Uh, Elijah. So Elijah was looking for his other half, and when he found him, they shook hands, and that's when David realized who he was, and then
Right.
that's when Elijah realized who he was, and that's kind of how Unbroken or Unbreakable ended. But
Right.
with the Beast, all these split personalities and that one individual, that one personality, having all those abilities to be able to climb things and be bulletproof and to have super strength. It's like there didn't seem to be an opposite for him.
Well, I thought that the Beast was, the Horde was meant to be the in between of Elijah and David, because mentally he's fragile, like Kevin is fragile. And all these other characters that he's developed is to make him stronger or protect him.
Protect him, yeah.
So he's kind of like the spectrum of everything in between Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, I mean, I kind of see him as the bridge,
Right.
you know, because he is emotionally fragile, but then there's a side of him that's super strong. But on the outside, there's no counter to him. I mean, there's David.
Yeah.
And so that kind of throws out of whack Elijah's original theory.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that David had to die at the end.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that theory were correct, then yeah, that David would have to die. But yeah, I was kind of half expecting for the Beast to come back and then just take off and be able to absorb all that pain and the injury and be able to heal and just take off.
Right.
And that David would somehow recover, and then you'd have the fourth movie of David squaring off against the Beast.
Right.
But
yeah, it was an unexpected ending because I didn't expect everyone to die, but
right.
well, at least the three main characters to die. And to me, it just seems like it was passing on the bat to Casey and is it Casey or
Casey?
Casey and Joseph. And then I'm not sure if the mother is going to have much to play in the next film if they have one.
Yeah, I mean, the way he ended it, it wasn't really clear about who would take up the mantle or who would get the torch passed to them.
Right.
Casey doesn't come across as someone who'd want to to step up and become something more, you know.
Right.
Um, it almost seemed like she wanted to have a normal life with, was it Kevin?
Yeah.
You know, and that was her primary motivation was to connect with Kevin,
Right.
and somehow she very quickly um, uh, had an emotional bonding with him, you know,
Mm.
from Split. But
Yeah.
you know, I could just imagine her being so traumatized that um, it wouldn't really last like that. But I don't know;
That
it's hard to
that
say.
that was one of the things that I felt that was really weird is how she, fell for him, or like I don't know if it's like if she fell in love with him or was she just feeling sorry for him?
Uh,
Sorry that he's in this he's he can't be Kevin, or he doesn't feel Kevin strong enough, even though Kevin's characters is the one that made her strong.
I'd say it's her compassion for him. You
Mm,
know, like
yeah.
he's being forced to go through this ordeal the way she was forced by her uncle, so she can kind of, um, you know, feel or um, have an empathic connection with him.
Right.
So, and then to have, compassion.
Right. How did you feel about the doctor? Like her
Uh,
character and how she played in the film.
I mean, the whole time the doctor, I really don't like the way she was played. I mean, the whole time she was talking, every time she opened her mouth, I just kept getting the word psychopath. Like there's something wrong with her mentally.
Right. Right.
And I was just waiting for someone just to like, you know, drop a brick on her head or something.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that something would happen to her at the end, but it seems like she's cracking from the inside out. So,
Right. And it would be interesting if
oh, by the way, there are spoilers in this. So,
yeah, we should have put there spoiler alert.
yeah,
But it would be interesting if in the fourth one, through this trauma or like, stress or whatever she had to go through, it brought out some sort of like power in her and now she's one of them, you know.
um,
I mean, it might not happen, but I'm just saying it would be an interesting twist if she ended up being one of them.
well, the thing that Elijah's mother had the assumption the whole movie was that this was an origin story, or not an origin story, but a special edition. And
Right.
Elijah corrected her and said, "This isn't a special edition. This is an origin story."
Right.
So, um, because she was looking for the big showdown at the end, which never
Right.
really happened.
Right.
And it almost seemed like Elijah has been writing this. If this were a comic book, he was the writer the whole
Yeah.
time. And so the way he was writing it, uh, it kind of it revealed itself when he was talking to the orderly at the mental institute. Um, and he said if this is a comic book, they would draw um, like a puzzled expression on your face and confusion bubbles above your head,
Right.
and that's right when the beast dropped down behind him.
Right. Well, he literally orchestrated the ending and he
He,
had it all planned out.
he
And
did.
literally, yeah, and he distracted the doctor so everything would just go to plan. And, he knew after his death, this would be the beginning of something.
Yeah. Looking back, I can't see how four would happen without Elijah, because it's like you need that person pulling all the strings,
Mm,
and you need someone like David to be able to do something to stop him, but at the same time not really wanting to get involved, just wanting to be an ordinary person,
right.
and yeah, it's kind of weird the way. Yeah, I mean, it was a good ending, but I would say that would end the trilogy. There wouldn't be anything beyond that. I wouldn't expect another movie beyond this.
Right. And there been talks of another movie?
Um, who was it? Was it David that we were talking to yesterday that's saying that there may be a fourth movie?
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. Um, I'd I'd have to look that up. So um,
Yeah.
let's see.
Well, the only way I could see this going forward is that the people that are left behind. So somehow Joseph. Wait, hang on. What's the son's name again? Is it Joseph?
Joseph, yeah.
Yeah. If Joseph developed powers and Anya developed powers, and then the mother would be kind of, the person that's supporting them too, and in some way. So,
Seems like there's rumors for a sequel to Glass,
right.
but honestly, I don't see how it could, you know.
Unless he was secretly saved.
See, but yeah, that I mean, his chest was basically shattered,
Right.
you know, and I don't know. I mean, overall, it was a good movie, and for me, it tied up all the loose ends from Unbreakable to Split,
Yeah.
and then ending with Glass. And it's funny because you have the first movie, which is about Elijah trying to find his other half,
Right.
but it was named for David Dunn's character, who was Unbreakable.
Right.
And then you had the second movie, which was named for the Horde, Split. And then the third movie was named for Elijah's character, Glass.
Right.
So it's like it completed the whole story
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
and just brought an end to it all.
Hmm.
Um, but it's like it kind of leaves you with the impression that Glass had or Elijah had a bigger vision uh, that would
Right.
take everyone beyond his death. Like he had laid the groundwork for everything to take place
Hmm.
um, with the transmission or the sending of the email or
Yeah.
video footage, so that everybody could see what their potential is. You know,
Right. Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean, I don't see how that could trigger someone's abilities just watching something happen.
Right.
Um, but I guess that ties into what he was saying about believing in yourself. You
Hmm.
know, because Patricia had lost faith in the Beast,
Right.
although Hedwig hadn't. Um,
Yeah.
Patricia had doubts because she was really conservative and
Yeah.
fearful, and yeah,
It would have been interesting to see how each character was developed in James McAvoy, like who was Patricia,
how she came
Kevin.
about.
Yeah, I mean, like Kevin must have picked up these characters, and I wonder if the Beast is his mother. Just like
Well, the Beast is like his guard dog.
yeah,
Then you had what was it, Philip? Philip was the real, um, the immaculate one. Like everything had to be clean, everything had to be neat, everything had
Oh,
its
I think that
place.
was that Barry or Dennis?
Oh, it was Dennis.
Okay.
I think Barry was the
Designer?
designer.
Right.
Um, so that was like Kevin's creative side.
Yeah.
And then you had Hedwig, which was the damaged little boy. He'd always be 9 years old.
Yeah.
And as Elijah said, he will always have he will always look at life and see it for what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, Dennis was to maintain order and keep everything neat and clean so Kevin did get in trouble. And Patricia was kind of like the mother, the surrogate mother.
Right.
As far as uh, the
So
other
there's
personalities,
Yeah, there's Jade, Ian, Mary Reynolds, Norma. I think these just kind of like are the ones that came through for like a minute.
Yeah, I really didn't see a point to their existence. Like they didn't add anything to Kevin. They didn't do anything for Kevin.
Right.
It's just like, oh, we'll just throw these in
Yeah.
and you know, see what happens.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like this story has ended, like it's come full circle.
yeah, it's complete.
Yeah, I don't feel like they need to kind of drag it on and make something else with it.
Well, it would seem kind of forced because like nothing was really established with either or any of the existing characters.
Hmm.
Elijah's mother, Joseph, or Casey.
Yeah.
Casey just had that ability to, I guess, transmit her compassion or love or whatever it was to calm the beast and bring Kevin back to the light.
Hmm.
It seems like that was her ability, her talent. But no one really came out. No one was really revealed uh, as having the ability or the potential to have the ability to wipe out this group that suddenly sprang into being, with the shamrock or the clover, whatever.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even a four-leaf clover though, was
No,
it?
it was a three. It was just a regular, like,
Three-leaf, yeah.
yeah, clover. Uh,
And that's the
shamrock,
thing.
I think, is four leaf.
I mean, the only thing I can see them doing a fourth movie is that they would take on most of the film. Like it's talking about this organization, how it's been trying to keep order in the world.
Yeah,
So, I mean, the only thing I can see it doing is showing this organization where they've come from, how they've been targeting everyone, the three of them, all these years, and how they came to capture them, and where they're going now with it.
yeah. I kind of feel like that was kind of a um, random thing with the existence or the development of the this group.
Hmm.
But it almost seems like Glass knew about him.
Right.
You know,
He probably found out about them after he got captured because he's been in that institute the longest, ever since David called the police for him.
right?
So he's been in there for what, 10 years? I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah,
So he's had plenty of contact with the doctor, and he's great at just getting in and out of his his room without any trouble. So he's probably found out a lot about them and is trying to expose them.
I can't remember how long that doctor. What's her name? Uh,
Ellie Staple, Dr. Ellie
no. Oh
Staple.
yeah, Staple.
Yeah,
Dr. Staple. I don't know how long Staple had been uh, at that center or that facility.
right.
Um, I mean, they say that she's the head doctor of the mental institute, but
I
uh,
feel like she's the one who has the most problems because of those contraptions that she developed to control
yeah,
everyone.
yeah, yeah, I don't see how. I don't know. There's a lot of loose ends, and I just get the feeling that M Night is hoping to create another movie based on this.
Right.
Um, but no, we got four people. Well, we got four people watching. Technically, two. Oh, we just lost one watching now.
Right.
Um, Nobody's really saying anything. Oh, we lost the other one. So it's just us now. Oh, got another one come on. So it's three now.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, they just switched off. Um,
They pressed the wrong button.
Yeah, I probably like clicked on. It's like, oh, they're just talking about Glass. Oh, okay. I haven't seen it. I don't want to, I don't want
Right.
to listen.
Right.
Um, so where would you take it? What would you do with it?
Um, I honestly, if I want to keep this trilogy unique, I would just leave it as that and let the audience decide what happens next and let them imagine, because there isn't a strong enough storyline or characters left to drive the story to the next one. It's just it will just be weak and it will be forced.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I would have just, you know, like I was saying before, I would have let the beast live, had him take off, and then just have David somehow recover. I mean, the if I were to do a fourth movie, they would have all been alive
Right.
by the end of it. And
Okay, so what would have happened? How would you have ended Glass in this one?
I think I would have had him. Who was it that revealed? Uh, was it Joseph that said that told Glass or the Beast that Glass had killed his father?
Yeah, yeah. Joseph worked it out that his father died on the same day that his dad was on the train.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would have had the Beast look at uh, Glass or at Elijah and
Mm,
just take off and say, I'm not gonna do your work for you anymore, or something, something along those lines,
right.
and just take off. And that would have left Glass unprotected.
What if it after finding out? What if uh, the beast took Elijah and ran off with him, so
Uh,
he could either torture him or like get his revenge in his own in a different place?
that's not the Beast's purpose. The Beast's purpose is to protect Kevin.
Right.
Um, so I would have just had the Beast take off and then leave Dunn and Elijah, David and Elijah,
Hmm.
um, just standing there.
So then they'll just be back in the custody of Dr. Staple.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
But I mean, David could have taken off at that point and just leave Glass there, to
Right.
be. The only problem is that everybody knows that David Dunn is the overseer.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
so yeah, that's um that's about it, really. That's all I can think of to say.
Right. Yeah,
Overall, it was a good movie.
I think so too. I think all three of them were really well made. I think all the actors did a really amazing job, especially James, who had to play all those different characters.
Oh my
And I
gosh!
yeah, and
Every,
I've
and then you said that it seems like he really enjoyed playing those different roles, and
yeah,
there's nothing a real actor enjoys more than
right,
being challenged.
right,
And I think the Horde really set the bar
yeah,
for James McAvoy, who, I mean, he cleared it easy,
right,
with flying colors. I mean, each character that he portrayed was so real
yeah,
and so in depth. It was
hmm,
really powerful, the way he played each role, and it's like he kind of stole the show,
right,
you know. Of course, and then you've got Elijah. Um, Samuel L. Jackson is just phenomenal. Anything he does, it's fun to watch. But
I just love his subtleties, like his when he's you know, when he's quiet and he's just sitting there in the chair.
twitching and like with his eye and twitching with
And
his.
especially when that guard said he's going to break his legs
Oh yeah,
his flashlight,
the sadistic one.
he didn't even twitch. That was cool. That was
Yeah,
really well done. Yeah.
yeah. I like. I kind of wish we gotten a better glimpse of his intellect, like um, how he got in and out. I wish they'd spent more time with Elijah,
Right.
and him working things out and noticing things. It's just you got a sense of like the the results of his observations, but I wish we could have seen more of his observations, like being wheeled from one part of the hospital to another and just noticing this and noticing that, and
Hmm.
and then going back to his room and just kind of piecing things together. I kind of
Right.
wish we'd see more of that because I mean the movie was called Glass, so we needed. I think we
Yeah.
needed to focus more on Elijah.
Yeah. They could have done like, a run up of the last 10 years, what's happened to him in the hospital. And then when, David and the Horde got captured, they put in there. And I think they could have ended this film with the Beast, you know, um, leaving with Elijah, and that could have then set the tone for the next one. And the fourth one could have been them, you know, being out and them trying to catch them.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I think I would just end it with a trilogy. Like this would be completion,
Right.
because no one else is really revealed as having an ability, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so it just, yeah, I would have left it as a trilogy, and then,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, as a trilogy, it makes sense.
Right. And it fits too. I mean, there's three of them, and they've each had the spotlight as well.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay.
But even if he does a fourth, I could just see, somebody watching the footage and all of a sudden start to kind of realize that something that they've been able to do all their life was something that could be construed as an ability. So,
Yeah.
but I can't see it really relating anymore to any of the three characters.
But the strange thing is like they're trying to say that Kevin, who was, so traumatized by his mom and then developed these characters, it's like his gift to be able to switch to someone else.
Well, it wasn't really a gift. It was survival.
Right.
Um, but the gift was the beast.
Mm.
Um, as I mean, all the other personalities in the horde were saying that this was the pinnacle of human development.
Right.
To be bulletproof, uh, to have this kind of strength to climb walls.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that was kind of the thing with Elijah was that he's seeing this as the next stage of development for humanity.
Right. Instead of David Dunn, who was born with the ability to be strong and unbreakable. I mean, because there's
Right.
two things happening here is that David is born with this ability, and Kevin, if he had a loving family, he wouldn't have developed all of these characters and the beast wouldn't have come out. So,
Well, what's interesting with Glass is that he was born with a disability,
mm,
and because of that, he just developed a very powerful intellect.
right.
So it was, his physical damage that created his mental ability,
Yeah.
his cognitive ability.
Right. So the only real person here that's born with a real ability is Bruce Willis's character.
Um,
Everything else, I mean, like
I don't
if
know. You don't really get that sense, because Glass was born with a disability, but you don't get the sense that David was born with an ability, because it came out, I guess, when he was in that car accident. But then he had that incident in the pool where those boys were trying to drown him.
right,
So his ability didn't really surface until the car accident when he was
the
in high
train
school.
accident, you mean?
No, the car accident. Because he was in a car accident with Audrey. They had been to a party. He was playing
Oh,
football.
oh,
He
right,
was like
yeah.
the best
Okay,
football player. He was about to make state and go on to professional. And then he
okay.
met Audrey. She didn't like football. And then they got into that accident. And he walked away without a scratch. Her leg was broken.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have a scratch on him. But then he said that he was injured.
Right.
So we don't know for sure if he was born like that or if it developed after that drowning incident with those two boys.
Mm,
So it's not really clear.
right. I mean, they might try and force a fourth to try and explain how these abilities are forced out of you in traumatic situations.
And I think that's really what it's about. Because you could say that Elijah had his cognitive ability because of his injury,
Hmm.
and then you can look at the Horde, the Beast, and he was born out of this mental confusion of different personalities that Kevin had to develop in order to survive.
Right.
So, yeah,
Mm.
interesting.
It is interesting film or films.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's almost like when you review Glass, you've got to review all three movies.
Yeah, you do.
And I think I mentioned earlier how, well, not in the live stream, but when we were talking earlier about Glass, I got the sense from Elijah that he looks down on regular people, um,
Mhm.
like they're not good enough, they're not worthy,
Hmm.
and they're just chess pieces to be manipulated on a board,
Right.
almost for his own satisfaction because he can prove who he is.
Yeah.
And I mean, to a lesser extent, even the Beast and David are pawns on a chessboard for him.
Hmm.
He's just so high on being so intellectually superior to everyone,
Right.
um, that everybody is just another piece on the chessboard for him.
Well, that's exactly what happened. I mean, the doctor thought she was in control, but all this time, Elijah was just waiting for the right moment to
Not just
strike.
waiting; he was setting everything up.
Yeah.
You know, um, the whole time it's like he was just waiting for access to the Beast.
Well, he didn't find out about the beast until he got out one night and he started reading Kevin's report. You know, what's his condition and stuff like that.
Yeah. Um, but the whole time, he was faking his pills.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
was
that was
getting out
true.
at night, and prowling around. Like he was setting everything up, and he was just waiting for that one opportunity.
Yeah.
It's almost like he was waiting for David to find someone that they could send to the mental facility
Mm.
that would allow Glass or Elijah to initiate um, an escape and make his comeback.
Right.
So, but
Well, we'll just have to see if there's
yeah,
a number four and how they decide to take the story.
true.
It's
Any last words?
no, I think that's pretty much. I mean, the only way I can see them doing a fourth is if Joseph and Casey developed powers, and or the story is based around the group, the organization that's trying, who has been controlling everything.
Well, I mean, the group has to have someone to chase,
Hmm.
and I kind of wish Casey, at least, would have developed something, uh, like at least given a hint of what she can do beyond just, bringing Kevin to the surface.
Right.
And Joseph, I mean, they had that one. It was a deleted scene from Unbreakable where he's talking to his father and telling him, I know who you are. I know your secret identity.
Right.
And it's like in Unbreakable, he could see that who his father was, even though his father was still trying to deny it. He saw right through it.
Right.
But you don't see him use that ability with anyone else. Like he didn't see through uh, Dr. Staple. He
Hmm.
didn't see through um, any of the cops who were part of that secret organization.
Right.
So I wish that there had been something, at least like a hint of it, just so it's like, okay, I know what to look for.
Right.
It just seems like M. Night wants to surprise everybody. And I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, you want a surprise, but at the same time, you want something, you want a hint uh, towards something. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, give people what's the word other than hint? Like you just want to
A, like
a glimpse.
a glimpse. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, yeah, you want to give people a glimpse that there's something coming, that there's something happening with this character, and it just seems like Casey's just a regular girl. She's going to go back to her foster, you know, family, you know, and
And Joseph is all by himself now.
well, it's interesting because you've got Elijah's mother. I wish I'd give her a name rather than just Elijah's mother, but you've got Elijah's mother, you've got Casey, and you've got Joseph, and they're
Right.
all holding hands on that bench,
Hmm.
and they're just watching everybody look at this video footage um, of David and the Beast, going at it, and then just waiting to see this. It's almost like they're waiting to see what's going to happen.
Who's gonna turn?
Yeah, or how people are responding, and it just kind of leaves you like that. And there's one fellow that does movie reviews on YouTube, and can't remember. I just subscribed to him as well,
Okay.
but he was kind of disappointed, or he said that uh, I would be disappointed in the ending, and um, I I kind of am, but I'm kind of not.
Right.
So, but again, a lot of this, it's weird because it's like The Force Awakens could have been such a great movie if TLJ had been a better movie.
Right.
Um, but uh, The Force Awakens was a good movie if you never saw The Last Jedi.
Right.
But because you see The Last Jedi, you realize what a terrible movie The Force Awakens is, because there's no payoff. There's all these questions that you have after the end of Force Awakens.
Yeah.
They're all denied or discarded by The Last Jedi. So with Glass, it's like if they have a fourth movie, it's going to be like, okay. because there's no setup for it in
Yeah.
um, Glass. So
True.
yeah,
Okay. Well,
yeah, that's about it. That's all I got.
yeah, me too. I mean, it. I loved all three movies, and the ending. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good that they ended it. If they can just end it like this, like
Yeah, I'm kind of
don't.
hoping M. Night Shyamalan has, you know, like he just ends with the trilogy and leave it
Right.
at that
Yeah.
because he didn't really give anything.
Well, if he can start a new movie, but it would have to be completely different, completely away from the three characters, and he might just do one about this organization,
Yeah,
and then the three people that are left, Casey, Joseph, and the mother, they're trying to reveal them or try and you know somehow have them exposed.
you know how I would have ended it
Right.
if there was going to be a fourth movie, I would have ended it with someone watching the video footage and then watching it end and then like close their laptop or whatever, or turn off their phone and just stand there and just have the camera linger on that person and then fade out.
Mm.
It's just have that person look up and look around, like really just carefully, and either look at their hand or something. Just realize that there's something about them that they can identify from what they saw. You know,
Right.
so it's like you have someone looking at their hand, and they kind of clench their fist a couple times, they open it, close it, and then kind of look around, and then
Wow.
fade out.
Yeah.
That's how I would have done it if there's going to be a fourth. If not, then I mean, it was a good trilogy, and it
Right.
ended really well.
Right. Okay.
All right,
Yeah, I think that's it.
all right. So this has been another movie review by Vivian and Roger. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. Uh, those that did.
I know, I was going to say thank you for popping in.
Yeah, I know. We got one like, so that's a good thing.
Cool.
Um, and we'll catch you on the next review.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.